Hello everyone, and today we're going to be going over the 26 current weapons in Pixel Blade. We are going to be starting off with the commons, and then the rares, the epics, and the legendaries. And we are not going to be comparing, common to legendary because obviously that's not fair. So let's get into it. So starting off with the wooden sword and its tornado ability. The starting out damage is 9. It's the very first weapon. It's probably the worst, I believe the worst damage off the beginning. However, it's the first weapon. The ability is really not that bad, so I'm just gonna put it in C tier. The next weapon that we're gonna be talking about, obviously the steel sword, another tornado ability. That's what it's the same ability, so I'm gonna put that above. It just does more. It's an upgrade. Um, it it's just that upgraded better than the wooden sword. Next would be the wooden scythe. In my opinion, probably the best common weapon here. The rejuvenate ability. It makes you regain 10% of your health and temporary shield for 10% in the beginning. This health regen is really good, including the shield bonus. So therefore, I'm gonna put it in B tier. Overall, pretty good, pretty solid common weapon. Next up, the Sinner with its ability Adrenaline, increasing your speed and giving you a temporary shield. Um, I'd say I'd put this behind the B tier, a solid start off, an upgrade to the lesser weapons, and worse than the wooden scythe. Um, Next is the Crusher, the best, I believe, or the second best damage on under the commons. I believe this one, with its ability Smash, could do a lot of damage and stunning the enemies around you, but I don't think it compares to like the Scythe or the Sinner. And therefore, I'm gonna put it at the top of C tier. Um, so the next weapon is the first of the new World 2 weapons from the new update Ancient Sands, and it is the Cactus Sword. The Cactus Sword does, I believe, the most common damage, the most damage out of the commons, and with that, that's really the best it does. It doesn't do a lot with the ability spikes, just putting a spike around your character. So therefore, I really don't think this is a useful weapon. And when you get to World 2, you already have weapons like the legendary weapons or the epic weapons. So I really don't think it's really necessary, and I don't think it's a weapon you'll ever use. Okay, so now into the rare weapons. These are the weapons that you really start getting a feel for the game, and you really start uh, upgrading your weapons, and you won't really need the commons. So we're gonna start off with uh, the the Wing Blade, with its ability Pierce to dart forward and stunning the enemies. I think this is a really good speed running weapon and one of like a really solid rare weapon. And I'm gonna put that right at B tier. I think it is probably one of the best rare weapons. So that is definitely a great one to upgrade to. The next one, the Blood Sickle. The ability Berserk, it increases your speed and damage temporarily. Leveled up, this weapon is really good, especially that you can get a lot of cards from it and a lot of cards to upgrade it. And so it does a lot of damage early game. I think it's really solid. I just put it below the Wing Blade. So next is the Frost Blade. If the Wing Blade isn't the best, this is definitely the best with its first the first introduction to the elemental damage. The frost damage is really good on this from the early game, stunning your enemies, and the damage on the weapon itself is pretty solid. So therefore, I'm gonna put it in probably our first A tier. Even though it is a rare weapon, it has the frost damage that's really good, and the ability Sub Zero. unleashing a frost blast, it just does that extra damage that makes it really sweet. So the tomb hammer, just it does the berserk just like the blood sickle, so I think it's really not useful. It does a lot more damage than most of the other ones. However, it's really slow, and you could just rather use the blood sickle. I really don't think this is a good weapon. Just there's other uses, other weapons that you could use. All right, so the second um, World 2 weapon introduced is the Bone Blade. This blade gives you the Bone Strength ability, and you gain a powerful Bone Shield up to 20 seconds. I do not think this is really useful, especially at this point. Again, you have you probably have the legendary weapons, and so I don't think this is useful really, but I would still put it in the C tier, above like the Tomb Hammer, and yeah, the the Moon Sickle is next, and of the new world rare weapons, I think this is probably the best, paired with the recovery ability. Um, when you get into the game. This makes the Moonsickle's ability, Lunar Spell, really, really slow. I mean, like really fast to enact, and so it sends these orbs to them, and it's really powerful if you get it high enough. So I'd put this probably in the top of B tier. Um, really powerful if you do it really good. Um, and last but not least, the Fire Blade. Um, Again, it's like the Frostblade. It does more damage though. It if this was introduced, if this wasn't introduced, then the Frostblade would take it, but I think this is just an upgraded version of the Frostblade, and therefore I'm going to put it above it, and that concludes the rare. Now to the epics. Now starting off with the Sandstorm epic from the New Worlds. This has the Sand Tornado ability, and it casts a whirling tornado, sucking in the enemies, getting a lot of the damage off them, and and you can hit them also. I I really think it's an underwhelming ability. I don't think it's as good as the rest of them, so therefore I'd probably put it at like the bottom of B tier. I don't think it's better than some of the rares, and I don't think it's really a necessary weapon. So the next one is the Royalist, the one of the two new epic ability weapons in the game, and this weapon gives you the ability Clockwork, splitting dimensions, making you immune and invincible for 3 seconds. That sounds good, but it's only 3 seconds, and you could be doing a lot of other things, especially with this weapon being slow. That 3 seconds isn't really going to help you, and so therefore I'd probably put it at bottom of B tier. I really don't think it's really that useful. Now the Shadow is probably, in my opinion, one of the best epics here. I mean, it it has the Venom ability, unleashing a poison blast for 5 seconds, and the damage is pretty solid. Um, Especially as like a counter if you don't have solar or something. So I'd put it at a solid B tier, top of B tier. Um, Next, the Buster Blade. The Buster Blade, the damage is pretty solid. Earthquake smash, the ground, dealing a lot of damage, and a stun. However, you have other epics on this list that are just better, and I don't think that this weapon is really good at all. And using it would probably be a waste, especially if you have the legendaries. So I'd probably put it in D tier. Alright, so next is the Ninja Blade. Um, it has the slash ability, which is very close to the stellar ability. I believe it's a really good weapon, and I put it in A tier. Fast damage, fast attack speed. It might not have the best damage, but it has really fast speed, and if you don't have Stella, it's probably a second option that you could probably use. Next is the Forged Steel, one of my personal favorites, probably above Shadow. It does a ton of damage, and it gives you this Titan ability, which gives you a temporary shield and damage buff with with a little bit of reduction of speed. However, I think it's really good, especially with the stun ability that it releases when you do it. So I'm gonna put that in A tier. The next one we're gonna be talking about is the Nightmare Blade. Um, Higher level does more damage, which is really good, and it flashes the enemies and making them stunned with their ability. Um, I think it's good, but not personally the best, and I'd probably put it at B tier. Um, yeah. Alright, so last but not least, the legendary weapons. These are the best weapons in the game, some of them, and these are the weapons that you'd probably really want to look forward to. So the next one that we're going to be talking about is Solar. Probably one of the best weapons. Well, the one of the best weapons in the game with the highest DPS in the game for the bosses. But however, it did get a a nerf, and if it didn't get the nerf, it would probably be an S tier, but it's gonna be an A tier. Next is the one of two new World 2 weapons, the Dragonheart. It does a ton of early damage without being leveled up, and the ability having the ability Ablaze, dealing a lot of damage, just like the ability Environmental Circle, I believe it's called. It's really good for up close attacks, and I'd probably put this in an S tier with the damage it does. Next is Stellar, no question the best weapon in the game. The damage, the fast speed, and the ability that just rips, the ability Constellation that just rips through the enemies. It's obviously the best weapon and deserves an S tier rank. And then from the best weapon to the worst weapon in the game, Infested Blade, the horrible ability Blood Snowstorm. It does horrible damage over time. It does stun a little bit, but it's really not good compared to any other weapon, and I'm gonna put this in bottom of B tier, D tier. It's really bad, and I do not recommend using this at all. The second to last weapon here is Imperialist. No questions asked. I mean, just an overall great sword. With the lightning ability, unleashing lightning bolts, channeling through enemies. I believe it goes up to 9 enemies, which is absolutely insane. And the damage that it has is really powerful. So I put it at top of the S tier. And the last weapon here that we're going to be talking about is the new weapon, one of the new weapons in the game. Really it's personally not my favorite. I mean, I thought it was going to be better, but it's underwhelming with the ability. It spawns, I believe, 3 enemies to fight for you, and it's really just, I don't think it's one of the better weapons. It is legendary with the high damage, so I will put it at bottom of A tier, but I don't think it's the best. And now with this list, this concludes our tier list of all 26 weapons in Pixel Blade, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in Pixel Blade.